Just need to check if I am live. Let's just see. Don't know what's going on here. Oh, I might only stream into X. There we go. Okay, we're live. We're live. We're live. Should be live on YouTube. Is there 2 streams out? Super weird. So there's a bunch of people waiting in another stream in which I'm not live. And then there's a bunch of people in this stream where I am live. So this is super weird. So I'm going to have to sort this out so that everyone can get over to this stream. Because this is throwing people off. All right. Just give me a second, guys. Trying to get everyone over to this stream from the fake stream. For some reason, it did 2 separate live streams, but we got a lot to talk about today. Gonna make sure everyone's over right stream, and we'll kick it off. Big day. Big day ahead. So I'm gonna paste in this live stream link into the other one. Get them all in here, and then we'll get going. Yeah, technology, can be a headache sometimes. There's 38 other people waiting in a stream where I'm not live. So I'm going to end that one. Hopefully they manage to get the signal that I'm live on another stream, because this will be a headache for people. All right. Delete. All right. Apologies about the delay. Anyway, let's get straight into the stream. So I appreciate you guys being here today. Please do smash up the likes on the stream if you're just tuning in. For some reason, I was live on 2 different streams, and one of them was not live. So everyone was just waiting for it to start. So I apologize for that. But we got a big day today, FOMC day. And I personally believe that we are actually going to head up. I think the dump that we just had was a fake dump, you could say. Fake out, manipulation, maybe manipulation. But I think mostly what it was whales putting money to the side. Quite often, the smart money are apprehensive of these potential FUD events. These major events with big significance are potential dump events. And a lot of the smart money, they put capital on the side to prevent getting wrecked. Because what you need to understand is these guys, they don't need the types of gains that we need. They just need 10%, 5%. That's all they need to make big money, because they're dealing with big capital. So quite often, heading into these types of events, these FOMC events, you get sell-offs. You get smart money taking some profits, putting it on the side. And then quite often what happens is, if they get the green light based off the event actually going well, they just end up buying back in. They just end up simply buying back in. And that's why quite often we get these big pumps during and after an FOMC event, because they listen to the stuff that Powell says. And if he says anything bullish, they'll buy in, and the sideline capital will re-enter the market. And that's what I believe will happen today. because I have a slight inclination to believe that Powell is going to potentially hint at a cut in September. Now, he's not going to say it outright. He's not going to just say to the camera, we're going to cut in September. He's not going to say that. But you got to read between the lines. I think he's going to give some indication of a cut. And if he does that, the markets are going to explode. The markets are going to explode. So, as it stands, obviously there's not going to be a cut in July. The odds of a cut in July are 1%. So there's not going to be a cut today. However, September currently gives a 60% probability of a rate cut with a 40% probability of no change. So that implies it's the probable outcome. Now, these odds are going to change drastically based off what is said today. The significance of today isn't about the actual rate decision. We already know that. It's about the guidance. It's about what is said going forward and some of the questions that are given to Jerome Powell. And if he gives any indication of a cut in September, markets will front run it because markets are forward looking. They will pump markets heavily heading into September. A lot of people think August is going to be bearish. I personally do not believe that. I think August is going to be bullish. And I think we're going to get a rate cut in September and markets are going to go and pump into that event. Now, they might dump out of it, but I think they're going to pump into it. And that's the most important point. So if Powell says anything that leans towards a rate cut in September, we can expect huge green in markets across the board, and markets will try and go risk on. Now, the problem is a 25 basis point rate cut is not going to cut it. That is not enough to do the structural change to the debt markets required to give us a major blow off top. It's not enough. You need a 50 basis point cut to really have an influx in liquidity. So what could happen is we pump into the rate decision in September, and then markets sober up and realize, yeah, 25 basis points isn't a great deal. The labor market's actually slowly weakening a little bit. Maybe we overdid it. And that's quite often what markets do. They overdo the hype leading into an event, and then they have a big drawdown after the event. That's exactly what happened with the Trump pump. It's not a coincidence markets topped out the day that Trump literally got inaugurated. January 20th, markets topped out in crypto, altcoin markets. And a lot of coins haven't gone to those levels since. We pumped into the event, we dumped out of the event. And I believe there's going to be a rate cut in September, and we will pump into that event, meaning August and September will be mostly bullish. And in my opinion, they'll be mega bullish. No sound, no sound. Can you guys hear me? Please let me know in the chat. Back on. Sound is fine. All right. Yeah, so man, there's a bit of a delay with the chat for some reason. But yeah, I think we will get a rate cut in September. That's what someone was asking in the chat. I think we will get a rate cut in September, and I think that it's going to be bullish leading into that. To be honest with you, that's what I'm expecting. Bullish leading into the event, maybe bearish coming out of it. That's quite often what we get. Buy the rumor, sell the news is the old phrase. Can hear you clearly? Great. Yeah, YouTube's weird lately. I've seen other streams, the sound just goes and you just got to refresh and then it comes back on. It's weird. YouTube muted Archie because he's giving the best calls in the game. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's what happened, right? They don't want people to hear the alpha. But yeah, I think, we could end up closing the day pretty bullish today. Everyone's super bearish. They all think it's over. At least that's what people sound like, right? But as long as this FOMC indicates a cut, we'll be flying. Now I'm going to give you some of the best plays to be in if we go risk on. If we go risk on after this event, I'm going to give you some of the best plays to be in. Now, one of them, which I wouldn't necessarily be buying now, but one of them is Troll. Now, I gave the call for this at 0.012 in the VIP group. That is when I gave the call on Troll. Absolutely crazy cheap call I gave. And it absolutely flew ever since the call, pretty much. It absolutely sent it big time. And it looks like it wants to keep going higher by the looks of it. It looks like it wants to keep pumping. So imagine Troll just starts sending it again. It's going to be crazy. We might be up 5 or 10x in a few hours if that happens. Troll just keeps on pumping. So shout out to everyone who got into Troll. That was an absolutely amazing entry we got in the VIP group. We got in as low as 0.012. So we'd be officially up. Let's work it out. 4 5s. Let's just call it 4 6. 4 6 divided by 1 2. We're officially up almost 4x on our money from the latest buy alert. Crazy. Bitcoin looks like it might be getting a little bit of strength back. So yeah, in terms of risk on buys, one of them I would be looking at right now would be Mavia. That would be one of the risk on buys, which I would consider getting a position in. That's one of the ones I would consider getting a position in because it's so cheap. It's actually an 8 million market cap. It says 18 million, but it's actually 8 million. And I'll show you the chart. This is the reason why I think Mavia is actually a decent buy right now. Why did I search Troll? Let me search Mavia. Show you why I believe that it is a decent buy. Now look at this chart. Look how many times we have found support at the level we just hit. Support, 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 all at this kind of golden pocket region. So I think Mavia is a great buy here. There's a good chance it finally starts to break out once the market goes risk on. And I think there's a few decent gaming buys across the board, actually. Another one which I think is a decent buy today is Brett. I was taking a look at the chart for Brett, and Brett also hit a golden pocket. So I think Brett is a good buy. I think Mavia is a good buy. Especially Mavia. If you want a bit of a risk on degen play, Mavia would be the one I would get right now. And then obviously Troll is doing great. I wouldn't be FOMOing into it now, but man, what a buy alert that's been. What a buy alert. While the whole market's been dumping, my VIPs have made 4x on Troll. Well, everyone's getting wrecked. They made 4x. All right, we got a donation by Roy. Where do you see others / BTC peaks and Bitcoin dominance bottoms this cycle? So I think Bitcoin dominance will bottom somewhere between 47 to 52%. That is the region in which I think it will find a bottom. And that's not a random region. That's between fib levels. That's between the 236 and the 382. I think we'll retrace to those levels at some point. And then Bitcoin, I'm targeting 130K around that region as a potential top. I'm not saying it will be the top, but a potential top. We have fib levels around that level, actually. We have fib levels between the 1.5, the 1.618, they're between 127 and 131K. So anywhere in that pocket, I expect heavy resistance. And then others, man, others has been beaten up so much this bull run, honestly. Others has been beaten up so badly this Bitcoin bull run. It hasn't even really been an altcoin bull run yet. But I think others could potentially hit the 1.618 from this kind of recent price action, which would bring it to 620 billion. That's a potential level for others. It could just double top. That's a possibility. It does a double top. It hasn't even hit the levels of 2021 yet, so there could be some potential resistance there. But yeah, I think others could go to 620 billion, which from here is more than a 2x on others. And what you need to realize is a 2x on others might not sound like a lot, but if you're holding good quality coins, you're going to be making way more than the 2x. If you're holding good quality plays like the ones I talk about on the channel, you will be printing way more than what the baseline target is, right? The baseline target on others is like a 2x. We're not going to make a 2x. We're going to make way more than that because the plays that we are holding on this channel are constantly outperforming the rest of the market day in, day out. If the market pumps 2x, we make like a 5 to 10x. That's the ratio in which we are outperforming this market. It's asinine. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. You'd think we have some secret indicators or something. Ondo is taking off. Let's take a look at Ondo. Ondo was a solid buy just below $1. Yeah, it's starting to move up a little bit. Let's take a look at Mavia because I think Mavia is a great buy actually. Mavia is actually positive on the day. Wow. Mavia is positive on the day. It's like one of the only coins that's up today. And look at that. I mean, this thing looks bottomed out to me. How many times it's hit this level? Now we're getting a bit of a bounce. Buyers are stepping in after hitting the golden pocket. Mavia looks primed. It really does. It looks ready to bounce. Looks ready. What level to DCA into Ondo? I mean, you can buy some here. It's below $1. Anytime Ondo is below $1, I think it's a decent buy, in all honesty. I mean, I was buying Ondo a lot lower. I was buying Ondo in the 60s, so I'm not buying now, but honestly, it's still a great buy for Ondo here. Aerodrome as well is a good buy. Let's just see what fib Aerodrome has come down to. See if there's any level here that we've We've retraced too. It'll be interesting to see. Let's take some local fibs. Yep. There we go. Golden pocket. Local golden pocket hit on Aerodrome with low RSIs on the 4-hour. Local golden pocket, low RSIs. Aerodrome could potentially be the buy of the day when it comes to higher caps. When it comes to lower caps, Mavia is the buy of the day based off the charts. Right? When it comes to lower caps, Mavia is the buy of the day. When it comes to higher caps, then Arrow would be the buy of the day. And Arrow is not even really a high cap, to be honest with you. It's a relatively small market cap. But the thing with Mavia, when you do some math with it, it's just ridiculous. When you work out that it's a 9 million market cap, right? Let's just say it goes to the market cap of UFO Gaming from last bull run. Because Mavia, I would say, is a top 5 gaming project in terms of quality in the market, in terms of backers, quality. It's a top 5 gaming project. UFO Gaming last bull run, UFO Gaming wasn't even anywhere near as big as Axie Infinity, Sandbox, Decentraland, Gala, Immutable X. It was nowhere near the levels of those. It wasn't even on par with those. It was a lower end gaming project. And UFO Gaming went to a $1.3 billion market cap, 159x the current size of Mavia. Mavia is at an 8 million market cap. UFO went to a 1.3 billion. Now, I'm not saying Mavia will do a 159x. I want to make that very clear. I'm not saying that at all. But even if it does a third of that, you're talking a 53x on your money as of right now. And it's at the golden pocket. The chart looks good in the short term. If you zoom out, the chart looks horrific. I'm not going to deny that. But in the short term, the chart looks good. It's well backed. Binance invested into it. I think it's got the recipes for a leg up here. And I'm willing to go on record saying that. Because some of my calls lately have been absolutely crazy with the degree of accuracy. They've been phenomenal. I mean, Troll, I called Troll, and then like a week later, it did a 4x. ZBCN, please. Okay, no problem. Appreciate your donation there. Let's take a look at ZBIC, because I think this is a decent project. It's a decent project. ZBIC network, let's see. So, this thing's been bouncing lately. I pulled some fibs on it, and I said it was... When was it I looked at this? I looked at this literally like a week ago, and I said it looked like a good buy because I think it was in the golden pocket. It's absolutely pumped crazy since then. So I'm a bit annoyed I didn't actually buy in based on my own analysis of the TA. But shout out to Madman if he's listening. He actually brought this one up on the live stream. The last live stream, he brought this one up. I took a look at it, and the chart looks solid. The project looks solid. The chart looks solid, and it's getting a bounce now. So I wouldn't necessarily be buying in here, but if I was looking for a potential entry, I would be looking for that golden pocket, which might not get hit. But yeah, Troll, absolutely killing it. Shout out to anyone in the VIP who bought my alerts on Troll. You're loving life right now. You're printing. 4x on your money in a few days. You can't complain with that. Potential Coinbase listing for Mavia. Binance Wallet is buying. Maybe. I mean, it's already on Binance Futures, so it's not like it's a ridiculous claim to think that it could get on Binance Spot. Just opened a Mavia long, 4x leverage. I mean, if you know how to trade, that's okay. But if you don't know how to trade, it's highly, 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 highly risky. Um, is Zora a good play? Yeah, I like Zora. Zora's a solid play. Zora's a great project from what I've seen. And Coinbase actually bought into Zora. I was checking the private sale of Zora. Coinbase actually bought into this. And it's on Coinbase. So if you don't know what Zora is, it's basically like a social media site plus NFTs. So you essentially tokenize your pictures. So you put a picture and people buy into it essentially. So look at this. Beetroot, right? Or something. You can you can buy that picture. It's just funny, but it's on the big exchanges. It's a well-backed project. It's been on my radar. Just the thing is, the chart just keeps pumping. The chart just keeps on sending it. So I can't get myself to buy something where it just keeps on pumping. But yeah, in terms of buys today, people have been asking me what would I buy today. Aerodrome would be a high cap buy. If you wanted like a blue chip buy, I would buy Aerodrome today. And if you wanted a lower cap gem to buy today, I would buy Mavia. Both of these have good looking charts that both look ready to bounce. They both look ready to get a bounce, the two charts. And for those of you who are just joining in asking me about the FOMC, obviously we had a bit of a sell-off the last couple of days. And I think the reason for that was some whales putting money on the side in anticipation of this event. Because it's a potential dumpster. That's what it is. It's a potential dump event. So the big smart money, they usually sell just before the event, take some profits, put some money on the side. They usually stay sidelined out of a risk point of view because they're quite risk adverse investors. Then what happens is they listen to the actual substance of the FOMC. And if it's not overly bad, they just end up buying back in at a higher price. That's the risk they're willing to take because they'd rather do preservation of capital than just risk having a big black swan. Because you've got to realize every FOMC is a potential black swan event if something bad is said. So sometimes to avoid the potential black swan event, they just sell, get into cash, they get cash heavy, and then once they see the outcome of it, they simply buy back in. As long as the outcome is not bad. And if there's any indication, any suggestion of a rate cut in September, markets are going to go risk on. You can mark my words. If there's any indication of a rate cut in September, markets will go risk on, low caps will pump, and I'm going to be doing a crap ton of low cap buy alerts in my VIP group. I'll tell you that. And so far, the last few low cap alerts I've done have gone tremendously, tremendously well. So there's going to be many more to come if obviously markets do end up going risk on, which I think will probably happen. So Mavia is my risk on buy today. I've also dropped a secret gaming coin in my VIP group, which I bought a few days ago, which I think is a solid buy. You can access that by becoming a VIP member today. And I think if you actually hover over the VIP for a little period of time, a little discount will pop up that you can indeed access. So check that little discount out. We were in a voice chat earlier for a few hours talking about the markets, and we'll be in another voice chat after the or during the FOMC. So during the FOMC, we'll be in a voice chat and we'll be discussing the decision, obviously, which we all expect will be no change. And we will discuss the ramifications of the decision and the ramifications of the speech. We'll be streaming it live in the VIP Discord. So make sure to be there for that stream. And as I said, if markets indicate that we're going risk on, subsequent to this FOMC event, then I will be dropping some buy alerts on some lower caps. Because as I've said already, I am pretty happy with my conviction plays. I'm happy with my Sui, I'm happy with my Tau, I'm happy with my Casper, my Sei, my Arrow, my Ondo. I've stacked the crap out of them now for 2 years almost. So I'm ready now to go risk on, as long as the market is ready. If the market warrants it, then I will go with it. Archie, what do you think of meme games as a DGN meme coin? I don't know too much about it, to be honest. I've heard of it, but I don't know too much about it, so I can't speak about it too much. But yeah, look at this Arrow chart today. Arrow retracing down to a local golden pocket. Now we're getting a little bit of a move up. Decent buy today. Let's take a quick look at Sei. See if Sei's come down. Yeah, Sei also come down to a local golden pocket. Wow. So you've got a good buy on Arrow. You've got a good buy on Sei. You've got a good buy on Mavia. Let's check Ondo. See if it's come down to any key level here in terms of the local fibs. Nope. It's not come down to any key level. So right now, I would be stacking up Arrow. I would be stacking up Mavia. And potentially Sei. Now, I've already got good entries on Sei and Arrow, so I'm not going to increase my average. But with Mavia, it's the opposite. I want to actually decrease my average on Mavia. What else looks good? Yeah, Arrow looks like a great buy. Sui. A quick look at Sui here. So Sui basically had another rejection around those May highs, you could say. Which is unfortunate because Sui was gaining a lot of momentum actually a few days ago. Yeah, Sui's not really at a fib level, you could say, but it's had a bit of a retracement. Ethereum just hovering below 4K, still waiting for something to give it a reason to pump above 4K. Just waiting for that catalyst, and that catalyst could be today. The catalyst could be Jerome Powell basically indicating a rate cut. If he does that, Ethereum will burst through 4K. So, what about H-bar? Let's take a look at H-bar. Hey, Archie, what's up? How's it going, man? Welcome to the... It's lagging a bit here. I got way too many tabs open. Let me close that. So H-bar had a big move up. We got into H-bar at 16 cents, was it? And it's retraced to the golden pocket as well. So we've got a lot of similar looking charts, like local 4-hour golden pockets, which kind of indicates to me that we're ready to bounce, provided the FOMC is not a major FUD event. As long as it's not a dumpster. Ben Cowen said that Bitcoin dominance will get to 70%. 70%. Yeah, he's been saying that for a while, though. And we did just reject at the 786 fib at dominance, which was at 66%. And I called that. I said to everyone everyone was calling for 70%. And I said, look, we got to the 786 fib level. Do you know how many people were calling me an idiot for saying that dominance was going to drop? I was adamant. I was saying dominance is at a fib level. It's at 66%. We're going to drop. And people were calling me crazy. The last time dominance hit a fib level, we dropped hard. It was in November 2024. It hit the golden pocket and it dumped to the next fib level. That's what it did. It dumped from the golden pocket to the next fib level. We've done the same thing. We've gone from the 786 to the next fib level, which is the golden pocket. So we've just dropped a fib level, essentially. And I called that. I said, we're going to drop. So whilst people are calling for 70%, I've been calling for a drop on dominance. Thoughts on Ponky? Ponky's solid. I think Ponky will do well. I think Ponky will do fine. Hey, Archie, what's up? How's it going, man? What time is the FOMC starting? It's pretty soon. It's in a couple of hours, I think. Let me see. Oh, it's at 4:15. No, it's the conference is at 4:15 p.m. Let me pull up the stream and just see. FOMC meeting live. So we want the exact time frame. If someone could post the exact time in Eastern time, then that would be good. Like, I know it in my time, but I don't know the conversion to Eastern time. FOMC press conference start time in Eastern. Yeah, 4:15 Eastern, right? No. Man, we need to know. We need to know what time it is because I'm gonna be hosting it in the Discord. I'm pretty sure I know what time it is in my time zone, but it's just gonna be confusing for people if I say my time zone. So the decision usually comes out obviously before the press conference. The press conference comes out after the decision. So everywhere I'm seeing is saying 2:30 p.m. Eastern time is the time of the press conference. The actual decision comes out at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So the decision comes out before the conference. The conference is around 2:30 Eastern time, which is 6:30 UTC time. Archie, do you have Instagram? Yes, it's down below in the comment section, in the about section. In the description, you can find my Instagram, my X, all the different socials, all down below. I recommend following them all because I post information on all of them. But yeah, dominance right now, it's just in a golden pocket. It needs to drop down below and fall below the golden pocket for us to continue this alt season, or whatever you want to call it, altcoin run. But a ton of the alts are all at golden pockets currently. They're all looking ready. Just check in on Mavia, see what Mavia's doing. Because if the FOMC goes well, I am going to buy more Mavia. So you can front run me and potentially buy now. But if the FOMC goes well, then I'm going to buy more Mavia. Because look how many times it's hit this level and got a bounce. I think there's a chance this is the floor. But there's going to be a ton of volatility today, so just be careful if you're in any leverage positions. You can get liquidated if you use leverage around an FOMC day. But if this goes well, I wouldn't be surprised if we get green across the board tonight, if this goes well. Like, it will be a really, really green day because the data's coming in pretty good. If you look at CPI, if you look at the job market, the data is usually been really good lately. So the data's been coming in good. All we need now is a bit of confirmation that we are going to get rate cuts this year, because a lot of analysts think we won't get a single rate cut all year. If Powell comes out and assures markets in some way, shape, or form we're going to get a rate cut, we'll go risk on. Now, he's not going to say it directly. That's the key thing. He's not going to say directly, I don't think, that we're going to get one. He will probably indicate it, and you've got to read between the lines. You've got to infer. What about Polygon? I would rather just buy Aerodrome over Polygon. I think base is gonna outcompete Polygon. So I'd buy the DEX for base. Thoughts on Moon River? I'm not too bullish on the whole Polkadot ecosystem. That's Polkadot, right? Moon River, Moonbeam, Moon River, Kusama, all these things. I'm not too bullish on them. Let's see. So Bitcoin 118K currently, Ethereum 3.7. Sui just below $4, Ondo just below $1. Wow, look at that. All of my watch list pretty much is in red, apart from Mavia and Cyan. They're the only two coins in green. And by the way, guys, some of the calls I've been given lately have been tremendously successful. One of them being Troll. I gave the call for this at 0.012, did a 4x in a few days. Another one I gave a call for a few weeks back was Cyan. This one actually did a 5x for us in the VIP group. This did a 5x. I gave the buy alert at a 1 million market cap. Okay, 1 million, it pumped up to 5 million. So it did a 5x. So we've been absolutely killing it over in the VIP Discord lately. And during the FOMC, we're going to have a live group call where we listen to Jerome Powell and then we discuss it afterwards. So make sure to be there, guys, for that FOMC meeting group chat. It's a one-stop shop for crypto. See what you guys are saying in the comments. Do I see Luna coming back? I don't know. Maybe. It'll never come back to the levels it was at, but there might be some sort of a bounce back rally. Tends to happen with these coins that rug. Like Luna. What was the other one? Mantra. Luna, Mantra. Few of these coins that have rugged have had bounce back rallies. But I wouldn't expect anything crazy from it. The GDP came in really good. Yeah, GDP came in good. Non-farm jobs came in good. CPI, the last few readings have been good, better than expectations. Loads of the information we've been getting from the economy has been positive. So all we need now is a cut. But I do expect the labor market to weaken at some point because they've had rates for so high now. It can't sustain for long. You can't keep rates this high forever. It's going to have a negative effect at some point and leak into the data. Let's see. Aerodrome getting a little bounce from that golden pocket. A little bounce there. Same goes for Say. A little bounce on Say. And Mavia's given an even bigger bounce. Nice little move up on Mavia there. Chart looks really good. Troll on ETH. Bro, why are you spamming the chat? Stop spamming the chat, man. It's annoying. You're an OG viewer and you're spamming the chat. What's with all of that? You're in timeout. How many times do you have to put it? Troll on Sol is better than Troll on ETH. I actually found Troll on ETH when it was 200k in market cap, and I told someone in my VIP group about it. I'm pretty sure they bought it, and it did like 100x or something, but Troll on Sol is the better one. That's the one I gave the buy alert for, and that's the one that's pumping crazily. Absolute god candle on that recent buy alert. And I'll show you the proof, because people sometimes don't believe how accurate my buy alerts are. They sometimes think, you must be lying. There's no way. There's no way you called it that early. Yet again. You gotta be kidding me. Let me show you. There's one buy alert. Now, I didn't put a lot of money into this. Okay, but you can see I bought Troll at 12 and at 15. And it did one of the quickest 4x's you've ever seen in your life. Yeah, man, it literally rhymes. Troll on Sol. It literally rhymes. Guys, smash the likes on the stream. We haven't got many likes, but there's a lot of people watching. So please hit the likes on the stream. Got a big day today, FOMC day. And hopefully it's bullish. Hopefully it's a bullish day. You called Troll on X as well? Yeah, I called it on X. I called it on YouTube. Obviously, the VIPs always get my buy alerts first. I also even called it in my free Telegram group. I recommend you join my free Telegram group. I give little announcements on there about some of the moves I'm making. But obviously, if you want to get things early, you got to be in the VIP group. But I have a little free Telegram group here that you can join and get some of my... Do I think FOMC will be good or bad? I think it'll be good. I think we'll bounce. But that's just my view. I could be wrong, but I think we'll bounce. I think we'll go risk on in August in anticipation of a rate cut in September. A lot of the charts are in golden pockets. They all look ready to give us a bit of a V-shaped recovery. So guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I appreciate you all being in the stream today. Please smash up the likes. And I want to remind you as well, you can get on a free call with my right-hand man, someone who's extremely intelligent when it comes to crypto, with a very good track record himself. You can get on a free call with him by hitting the link in the description and booking a free call. Highly recommend it. It's literally free of charge. You don't have to pay a penny. And he'll take a look at your portfolio and give you a bit of a plan when it comes to exit strategy. So check that out. It's linked down below. And most importantly, get yourselves in the VIP group. Get yourselves in the Discord. We had a great voice chat earlier, and we're going to be doing another one during the FOMC, live streaming it and discussing the ramifications. So if you want to be in the know, if you want to get calls early, if you want to see what's happening in the markets and getting the updates in real time, get in the group. Appreciate you all watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next live stream. Goodbye.